Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we have a special edition where we are live at the ABV Barrel Shop talking about the new Jerry Dalton movie, Get Jerry Dalton in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. My name is Steve Akeley. I'm joined by Jim Fosnot here at the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar. Hey, Jim, how you doing, man?
Great, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing great as well. Yeah, we're going to be talking about this new movie, how you can check it out and and enjoy it and learn about Jerry and his career and his legacy and all the things that he's done in bourbon. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, you said there's something you wanted to talk about. What is that, sir?
Well, as we sit here today, nobody won the big drawing on the Mega Millions yesterday, so that means it's going to be somewhere around $1.5 billion. I want to know, what's the first thing you do? Like, what's the first thing you do if you're the winner of that?
Okay. Is this past all the legal stuff and all that?
Yes.
Like you want to secure your finances and all the things you need to do?
Past the legal
First fun thing. There would be a lot of that kind of stuff I'd go through because I'd want to make sure that certain people are taken care of. You and I kind of have a deal. If one of us wins it, this place is gone because we can't be like a billionaire owning a shop like this because people be coming in and slipping and falling and all that kind of bullshit. So we got to make sure we take care of one another. So all that kind of stuff. You got to take care of my kid and make sure what that looks like and all that stuff's aside. What's the first fun thing? I think I'm going to head to travel, and I'm not a fancy traveler. That's the fun thing about the travel that I do, and at least in my mind. Other people, probably aren't into the travel I do, but I like to just go to certain places. I like to go to Key West. I like to go to Sanibel. Unfortunately, can't really go there now. Pensacola is another one that I like to go to. I like to go to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Las Vegas, Nevada, and New Orleans. So I would probably pick out one of those places and book a nice trip where it's open-ended. If I go down to Key West and I want to stay there 6 weeks, I'm going to stay there 6 weeks. And I'm going to have the fun till it's like, it's time to go home. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a vacation that is open-ended. I'm not going to put parameters on myself. I'll pay as I go, and I don't have to worry about it. Imagine going down there and being like, this is a very pricey time to go to Key West. Who cares? Who cares? I'll just have fun. I'll invite all my friends down there, because my friends didn't win the lottery. I'll pay for their trip. If somebody's like, hey, you want to come down? I'll pay for your trip to get down here, and you can stay a week or whatever your work allows because people still got to work and stuff like that. But yeah, that'd be fun to have kind of a little ongoing party with friends and family. Yeah.
So I want to do some traveling as well, and I know eventually I'll hit the beaches and stuff like that, but I kind of brought this up to you earlier where I would love to get a tour bus and just do a bourbon tour and invite different friends at different states. Hey, who can join us in for this state? And go kind of state to state, hitting distilleries, buying barrels, and then just giving those damn barrels away to friends of ours. Like, I'm not going to go through the hassle of selling it. But just to have so much fun in seeing as many distillers as I could in 50 states or 48 states, and going from there.
Just make the tour and buying barrels too, right?
Yep, that'd be fun.
That you just give to friends and stuff like that. All right. On that note, well, guess what? It's time to drink, Jim. What are we drinking here?
I believe we're drinking some Barrel Seagrass, Steve.
Yes, we are. So this one, they're different. There's 9,266 bottles in this batch, and this batch comes in at 119.12 proof. Now, I'm a fan of Barrel Seagrass, as are you. I saw a post about it recently, and I'll tell you what, most people were fans. It was good to see most people were fans. There's a couple people who are constructive, like, it's not for me, or it's not my favorite, or I don't like the finish. But the one that stood out to me, there was one guy that said, I tried it, it's an absolute drain pour.
Those are people that are just trolls. I mean, that's all there is to it. They're the ones who, they bash everything. They're not happy in life. I don't know. I understand if it's not your profile, but
Right.
there's no way you could ever identify this as a drain pour if you have any type of palate whatsoever.
Right. And let's think about this. So this bottle, I've seen it as low as 65. Really, in reality, it's a $95 bottle. That's what it's normally going for. There was this weird anomaly where the Costco and Sam's here locally had it for like 65 for a little while. But so you're talking about a $95 bottle. So this guy, the big shot, Mr. Online, Mr. Facebook Muscles, he tries Seagrass and then he drain poured it. Do we really believe for a second he drain poured a $95 bottle?
I don't think the plumbing in his trailer home could have taken that pour, so probably not.
Yeah, that's what's so frustrating to me is that everyone's a big shot on Facebook. They're all so cool, and their brand is just awesome, and everyone's working an angle. And like you said, people are either trying to incite to create anger, but no one's. You need to do something else. Here's my PSA for you. If you drink Barrel Seagrass and you say that is drain pour worthy, do something else. Get a different hobby. Spend your money on something that you enjoy, because you clearly do not like whiskey.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And don't pour it down the drain. Find one of your friends who does like whiskey and let them enjoy a fantastic bottle.
Yes. So on that note, we just killed a bottle of Seagrass. So cheers, Jim.
Cheers.
Oh, I love that stuff. So good. Just a great drinking whiskey. The flavorful. It's loaded with the depth of flavor on this one. It's just amazing. I love Seagrass. So yeah.
It is it could be an everyday bourbon for sure. I just love that bottle. It's and what's great about it is I like the base Seagrass better than
the expensive one.
The expensive
yeah,
one. By far.
Yeah. So that's unusual, but that's 100% true. So there you go. There's our take on Seagrass. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about this new movie that we've got out called Get Jerry Dalton in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
My name is Heidi Topol Eller Fosnot, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
All right, everybody, welcome back. My name is Steve Akel. I'm joined by Jim Fosnot. We are here at the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar, and we're talking about Jerry Dalton and the new movie that we've got out featuring him called Get Jerry Dalton in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. Jim, you got the chance to watch this, didn't you?
I have. I've actually seen it a couple times now, and hats off to you, Steve. Great little movie you put together there for a great cause. I mean, Jerry Dalton's a great guy. He deserves to be in there. He's just in a tough situation. So, we'll see if this happens, but if nothing else, he's going to know how much he's appreciated by bourbon fans.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing. That's the takeaway. So when you do a documentary, and, this is a documentary, but there is some writing that goes into it. How does the documentary, how you're presenting it? What do you have to do? So I came up with the idea, this is how it wants to look. It's the story of me going down. I'll interview Jerry. We'll talk about this, and I'm going to ask him questions that will clearly outline, his contributions to the industry, and again, he's not making the case, put me in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. We're letting his career do that, what his contributions do that. And of course, I get people that are his contemporaries, people that are real influencers in the whiskey industry right now. I also interview them and ask them why Jerry belongs. And I think it's a really good movie. And again, you can't say the only way this thing is a win is if Jerry Dalton gets in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. I don't have any control over that. I have no vote. That you don't. There's no means to nominate people if you're just a private citizen. You're not involved in the KDA. There's no way for us to do that. So all I can do is line out the case, present it to bourbon fans. And, hopefully if enough of you like it and you talk to, tell the KDA what you think of this, again, they're an entity that the bourbon consumer should be very important to. And I'm hoping that if enough of you watch it and you agree with my assessment, that you reach out to the KDA, tell them, and hopefully they take note of it. Again, not trying to be mean. I like the KDA. I like the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. I think it's a very cool thing, the fact that people can have a capstone to their career that recognizes them. I just think that in some cases they've missed people that are clearly obvious. Jerry Dalton being one of them,
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Jerry Dalton is the only non-Beam family member to be a master distiller at Beam Distillery. So it's a tough sell for him because of all the Beam family members that Beam wants to get in. So
Right.
That's who they're going to nominate. And I I understand that, but there's a couple other paths to get people in, and it's going to be a tough road. But it's possible. And if nothing else, he's just going to get some look at it. People just understand how influential he was in his career and his time there at Beam.
Yeah. Everybody wants to, know if a movie's a success. And typically when you're talking about a Hollywood movie, what's a success? Well, there's two paths to success in Hollywood. Number one, box office. Is it a big box office champ? Now, sometimes the best box office isn't necessarily the best movies, the big superhero action movies. People that are really into film and things like that, directors will tell you those aren't the greatest movies. But are they or are they not? I don't know. Fans like them, people like them, they buy tickets. Maybe that is a pretty great movie. The other thing is the awards. And you know what? I don't think we're going to get either of those. Number one, we're not charging anything for this movie. It's a free movie to watch. We'll never charge for it. I don't want to make this, a thing where we generate revenue and people say, well, I know why you did it. You're making money off it. We're not making any money off this movie. Matter of fact, I paid money for this movie. There's plenty I had to travel for it. You've got to buy music rights. You've got to buy storage to store the movie. Yeah, there's a lot of things where I have to pay it. I had to pay Bo, which is, I don't pay Bo for this, by the way, but, bought his lunch. But, I had expenses that are associated with doing this, and I had to travel for a night out and stuff like that. Again, it's minimal, but I'm not making any money off of it. It's an expense. But to me, the way that I measure success off this one is only really off one thing, and I've already got that accomplishment. And Jerry Dalton loved the movie. He loved the way it was presented. He loved the quality of it. He loved the way the story was told. He loved the fact that it's also not just about getting in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. We don't make it all about that because, again, we don't control that. Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame might not even recognize that this movie exists ever. So and that's okay. Jerry knows that his legacy is secure. People will be able to see it, understand about it. He loves the fact that we don't forget his wife. His wife Judy unfortunately passed away. That's why Jerry really hasn't actually been involved actively in the bourbon industry for the last 10 or 12 years. He's been a caretaker for her. And to his credit, that's the type of man that he is. He helped out his wife, and she was battling dementia. And ultimately, it got worse and worse. That's a problem, a situation when you're battling that. It never gets better. Each day is going to be worse than it was the day before. And, Jerry had to deal with that and his wife. And he was her caretaker. He never wanted to put her in a home. He was 100% responsible for her care. His health has deteriorated, and you can see how hard that is. You see a little bit of that in the movie. He was wearing, he has to walk with a walker now and things like that. But the fact that we can do this, and show him that people do care about what he did. People do remember him in the industry, even though he's missed all the social media explosion. Many people, even that are Beam fans, probably don't know who Jerry Dalton is. And the fact that we can, do this for him, I think is the important thing. And that's why this movie's a huge success in my mind.
Yeah, just for him to see the finished movie and to see all the great things that people had to say about him that were his peers in the industry, or like you said, influencers in the industry. It had to mean a lot to him just to have them come forward and talk about his career.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Like you said, you have no control of the KDA. Hopefully this gets to them, but if not, I think the case is still made. And just because he doesn't officially make it in there doesn't mean people don't recognize that he should be in there.
Right. Yeah, that's the important thing, and I think it's mission accomplished on that. And please do check it out. And how you would check it out is go to YouTube, search Bourbon Sasquatch, or you can search Get Jerry Dalton in the Bourbon Hall of Fame. I'm sure that would be the only, in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. That's the only thing that would pop up. But if you want to go to just our channel, it's Bourbon Sasquatch, so you can just search that. That's the last thing that we've got out there. So it is out there. Again, free to watch, commercial free. There's no commercials in there or anything. There's no revenue stream on this. It's just about watching it, learning about Jerry and his contributions. And I think you'll find, as a bourbon fan, and if you're listening to this podcast, you're a bourbon fan, you're going to find that to be time well spent, and just learn about somebody who kind of is definitely flown under the radar, but did a lot for the world of bourbon, and certainly has a Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame worthy career. So it's a fun movie to watch, and hopefully you enjoy it, and please do check it out. If you want to get engaged and you want to help the cause, I'm not pushing anybody to do this, but if you want to, if you're so moving that you'd like to, please send an email to enjoy@kybourbon.com. That is, of course, the good folks at the KDA. And again, not confrontational, not mad about this. Jerry's not mad he's not in the Bourbon Hall of Fame. I'm not mad he's not in the Bourbon Hall of Fame. I just want to create awareness. And if you could please send an email and let them know that you believe that Jerry Dalton belongs in there. You could cite the movie as, you learn more about his career. That's fine. But please do send them a note. That can be helpful. The more people that this is on the radar for, I think the better. So please, if there's one thing you could do that can help the cause, that would be it. Send that email to enjoy@kybourbon.com. All right, on that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Jim, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Jim Fosnot, on Instagram at FozJim, FAZZJIM, or hanging out Tuesday through Saturday here at the ABV Barrel Shop in Arnold, Missouri.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, is abvnetwork.com. Please check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Also, Jim mentioned the ABV Barrel Shop. Our website is abvbarrelshop.com. We have an online store. Click on that just on the main page. Will take you directly to that. Or if you want to go there just directly, it's shop.abvbarrelshop.com. Please, we've got one item out there. We're going to be getting more as we move ahead, and it's going to be something that you're going to want to be engaged with and involved with. Please, if you like what we're doing, If you could leave a review for us, that's very helpful. With comments, 5-star review with comments there's no better way for people to find us than to see that out there. And head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network if you want to get involved with the show and get some of that behind the scenes access. On that note, we'll wrap this one up. Of course, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Cheers.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.